Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. Let's have some fun. Let's enjoy ourselves. Let's relax and just let the free-flowing properties of watercolor with all its colors and excitement take over. Let's get in a mood here of just carefree attitude. Let's do some contour drawing. Let's keep practicing our contour drawing. Let's practice our nice carefree and free style of painting, getting on those washes and the spattering and the just having a good time with watercolor. I have a simple watercolor paper here with some tape for a border. So that we're setting ourselves up for success right here. We have a nice taped border. We can turn this into a card, like a gift card, or any kind of for birthdays or holidays, whatever you like. You have a nice taped off border, and then you can just write in someone's name or any kind of message you have on the card and so forth. So watercolor is fun, and it's also a great way to promote your work and promote your art and share it with other people. So let's have an enjoyable time again. I have a little more of my palette in the picture today. I thought that might be helpful to kind of see a little more of the mixing the whole time as I work here. This is going to be more of a free, spontaneous type of watercolor painting we're going to do. So let's start off right away with a contour drawing. I'm thinking it's going to be about the vase we're going to have is going to be about here, and then the flowers are going to be here. A nice large bouquet of flowers, some nice kind of some nice big petaled flowers, and maybe over here we'll have maybe this will be near a window, so we'll have some interesting light effects, and we'll put the window sill maybe about here. So I'm just lightly planning out where I'm going to have things. So that's a great thing to do when we're watercolor painting. If we can just kind of very extremely lightly and careful, being carefree here, we're just very lightly. I'm working from a photograph, actually from an art book. I have an art study book. So I'm working from that, and I'm just looking at that as I go here and just trying to get the general layout of things. So that's a good way to start out, is lay out your picture. Whether you're painting from still life, like you have a real vase set up with some flowers, or if you're working from a picture, a photograph, or if you're outside and painting nature, whatever it is, take your time, get your really super light preliminary sketch on your paper, just so you're happy with the way it's looking lightly. Like a real annoying habit I had when I first started watercolor, and I think everyone sometimes does this, and it happens occasionally, or sometimes we'll have our watercolor paper like this, and maybe we'll start doing a scene or something, some flowers, and then the next thing we know, it's like it's not filling up the rectangle, which would make it a little less exciting. Same thing with a photograph. If you ever notice when people sometimes take pictures, the photograph will be like this, and then you'll see like maybe two people standing next to each other, or it's like maybe a couple, or maybe something else too, maybe a car, whatever. But you'll see that it looks like that. Now that's less interesting than if we were to that's less interesting if we have our rectangle, and then let's say we put two people in the rectangle. It'd be much more interesting if the people were filling up the picture space, and then we would that would be much more interesting versus having two people standing there, a picture or a painting, and the picture space is really empty. So let's fill up that picture space when we're doing our artwork with lots of exciting content, and remember that zooming in is much better and getting a lot of subject matter into it. Crowding the rectangle with subject matter is much preferable than doing something like this where there's only a small amount of subject matter in a painting. But sometimes you can do this if there's more interesting things going on around here. But as a good standard design principle, it's a lot of times it really works nicely if we fill our picture space up with subject matter. So that's the idea here. So I'm getting that vase and flowers, and I think we're ready to start doing our pencil sketch here. So I'm going to do the vase here. And I'm seeing shapes of flowers and okay, I'm keeping it free, loose, not getting too bogged down with super fine details here. We're going to do a lot of fun splashing of paint and getting a lot of interesting and a coffee cup there, shadow and shadow there, the windowsill. Maybe part of a window over here, window frame. And you can create your own ideas as you go. It doesn't necessarily have to be exactly what you see. If it's a photograph or a book, or even in real life, if you're painting from something in real life, you can change things around. Feel free to do that to make it more the way you want it. You're the artist. You're the artist. You decide. It's your painting. It's no one else's. You can choose what colors you want to use, or what size the flowers are. Maybe you want to make them different than what you see. You can do that. Okay, I think we're good. We have a nice pencil drawing to start with. And again, we're going to go more with a freer style today. Some fresh water. So I just start off with fresh water. Round brush. Maybe I'll use one of my other brushes here. Let's see. This one has a little bit of a better point on it. These points are a little bit worn down on some of these brushes. So we have our fresh water, our paint. The colors are, again, this is my standard palette. You can type into YouTube "My Palette" by Petri and you'll see my colors. I explain what colors I use, what brands. I'll keep the cooler colors up here. I'll keep some of the warmer colors down here, so I'll go with sap green, olive green, cadmium lemon yellow. So I'll kind of mix up the colors here a little bit. I'll do some red, cadmium red up here, alizarin crimson, some orange, cadmium orange, cad yellow, okay, let's go in. Maybe we'll start with some of our more exciting colors, let's say. Now here you're going to notice I'm going a little bit more carefree and loose kind of a feel. Do this here, we get some greens in there. I'm not going to be afraid to mix and mingle the colors. I'm going to paint around some of the negative shape painting around the object to make it appear. So this might be a flower here. And this is really fun because this is more, we're having a fun time here. Just mixing and mingling the colors around, and we're not getting too carried away with suffering over things. We're just having fun mixing the colors around. The light's bouncing around in this picture, so I wouldn't worry about agonizing over where the shadows are and where the light is. We're next to a window here. There could be something in front of us that we don't see that's bouncing light back into the picture as well as it's coming from the back. So again, let's not over, there's an old saying, analysis paralysis, and analyzing things too much and then it becomes paralyzing. Let's not let that happen. Let's just have fun. Let some areas have bright white paper for light. Let other parts be mixtures of colors. Use all your colors, mix them all around. If you put red up here, put red over here, down this way. Try to harmonize the painting with color. That always looks great. Having your paint mixtures all the way through your painting. Some areas you might want to have a large bit of color. Again, we're negative shape painting, so here, maybe in real life this window frame would be darker, but I'm going to let it be lighter. To have the idea that there's the window there. And we're going to go with some shadow color here. good tool to have is a tissue sometimes to blot up some paint if you think you want to take some paint off the painting there. That works occasionally. I wouldn't do a lot of that, but it does work good sometimes. Okay, once you get some decent color and mixes on here, then we can put in some darker tonal values, some darker color in here to like maybe suggest some areas that we want to bring out that are more interesting. So I can go in here and get some blue and French ultramarine blue with a little bit of raw umber, and then maybe we can do a couple shadow ideas under there like that. So here we have plenty of fun washes, light bouncing around. We can see this is we can see these are flowers in a vase, and there's light bouncing around in the picture, and there's a window. We can see that here. So the effect is really nice. And I'm mixing some more green, some olive green, sap green. And we can get in some more. Here's a point where you could set this aside, like take a break for 15-20 minutes until this dries quite a bit. Almost so that it's all dry to the touch, and then you can go back in with your darker tonal values. But since we're making the video here and we want to move along and kind of keep ourselves in a good rhythm, and I'll keep going here, but you can kind of see now that at this point you can pretty much have the basic idea that we're letting the watercolors mix and mingle with the water, and we're adding in some darker shadowing. This is good too. It adding those little bit of darks here and there kind of brings an excitement to it, to the painting. So we can add them here and there. And then they look really good if we put them into to create the petals of the flowers here. So again, I would let this dry maybe, or I definitely would let it dry a bit, and then we can go in and create some more flower shapes with the white paper, being careful though not to go overboard and do too much outlining. So in a sense we're negative shade painting here, some darks in here to kind of carve out some nice shapes around the flowers to give that feel more of the flowers. But yet it's still abstract. We still have a nice feeling of, you know, fun and freshness and lots of stuff mingling, the beautiful properties of watercolor being flowing and mixing and mingling of colors and washes. Then we can add some bits of like yellow and orange here and there, just to give that feeling of warmth in the painting, like sunlight. And that balances nice with the blue shadowy colors, blue and purple shadowy colors. And okay, and that's, I think, a good place to just let this sit for a while. And again, you could come back in and do a little more, but doing too much more would kind of ruin the effect of the fun of it. Alright, I hope we had a lot of fun here and we enjoyed the different techniques we can use with watercolor to create really beautiful paintings, cards, and we will see you on the next video. Bye for now.